Today I put the starting point guard from every NBA team into a 3-point contest tournament. I divided them up into 5 groups based on their 3-point rating in 2K24, and the top 2 scorers from each group will be moving on with 2 wildcard spots available as well. Starting off in Group 1, we have Killian Hayes with a 73-point rating. He didn't do great in this contest and ended up with only 18 points. After him was De'Aaron Fox. He has a 77 3-point rating, but he did not play like he had a 77 3-point rating. He ended up finishing with 23 points. Then we had Fred VanVleet with a 79 3-point rating. He did slightly worse than De'Aaron Fox, finishing with a 22. Next up was Drew Holiday with an 81 3-point rating. Again, he did not do very well at all, only getting 18 points. Our second last player in Group 1 is CJ McCollum with an 84 3-point rating, and he went off this contest, getting a score of 27. Lastly, we have Luka Doncic with an 89 3-point rating. He actually has the second highest 3-point rating in this entire tournament, but he did not do good at all this round, only finishing with 19 points. It's not looking very likely he'll move on, but from Group 1, we got CJ McCollum and De'Aaron Fox moving to round 2. Moving on to Group 2, starting off, we had Ben Simmons. He is the worst shooter in this entire tournament. He only has a 35 3-point rating, and it sure showed. He only scored 10 points the entire round. Next up, we had Kyle Lowry with a 78 3-point rating. He finished with 21 points. Then we had Shai Gilgeous-Alexander with a 79 3-point rating. He did slightly better than Lowry, ending with 22 points. Then we had Trae Young. He has an 81 3-point rating. It's honestly very, very low for him for someone that shoots so many threes, but he did good in the contest, ended with 25. Then we had Mike Conley with an 82 3-point rating, and he tied with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, only getting 22 points. And lastly, we had Steph Curry with a 99 3-point rating. He ended with 26 points. There's a reason he's the GOAT of 3-pointers. He moves on to the second round, as well as Trae Young. And speaking of GOATs, the Smeek Squad GOAT merch is now available on Smequle.shop. We got the GOAT hat and the GOAT shirts available in both black and white. And from now through Black Friday weekend, the entire store is going to be 15% off. So make sure to go visit Smequle.shop. We finally got some merch available. But let's get back to the video. Heading to Group 3 in round 1, starting off with Scoot Henderson with a 73-point rating. And he did very well for his rating, ending with 24 points. Next up was Keontae George with a 75 3-point rating. He ended with 22 points. Then we had LaMelo Ball with an 83-point rating. He tied with Keontae George with a score of 22. Then we had Darius Garland with an 81 3-point rating, and he did really good in this contest, ending with 25. Next up was Tyrese Halliburton with an 84 3-point rating. He ended with a score of 20. He should have done a little bit better, but he just shoots so slow during the contest and wasn't even able to finish. And then lastly in the group was Devin Booker with an 88 3-point rating, and he also finished with a score of 25, meaning that him and Darius Garland will be moving on to the second round. Heading over to group number 4 now. Starting off, we had Jeremy Sohan with a 75 3-point rating, and he ended up scoring 20 points. Then we had Ja Morant. I unsuspended him to participate in this contest. He only has a 75 3-point rating. Didn't do very well, ended with 18 points. Next up was D'Angelo Russell with an 83-point rating. He did slightly better than Ja with 20 points. Then we had Kobe White with an 81 3-point rating, and he was lights out this round, ending with 26 points. Next was Jalen Brunson with an 85 3-point rating, and he ended with 22, putting him in the second spot so far. But up last was Damian Lillard with an 87 3-point rating. He was able to beat Jalen Brunson and ended with 24 points, meaning that Damian Lillard and Kobe White will be moving on to round 2. And heading on to Group 5, the final group of the first round. Starting off with Markelle Fultz with a 73 3-point rating. He put up a solid score of 20. Then we have Russell Westbrook, also with a 73 3-point rating, and he went off this round. He ended up getting 25 points. Dennis Schroeder was next with an 81 3-point rating. He was only able to put up 20 points though. Then we had Tyus Jones with an 81 3-point rating as well, and he was able to put up 24 points, one behind Westbrook. Then we had Jamal Murray with an 86 3-point rating. He put up 23 points, losing out to Tyus Jones and Westbrook. And finally, we have Tyrese Maxey with an 87 3-point rating. He also finished with 23 points, meaning that Tyus Jones and Russell Westbrook are moving on to round 2. I cannot not believe Westbrook made it. And then in terms of our 2 wildcard spots, it was the next 2 highest scoring players in the first round. So we got Scoot Henderson moving on with a score of 24. Then we had Tyrese Maxey and Jamal Murray tying at 23. So they had to do a tiebreaker where they did a 30-second 3-point contest. Tyrese Maxey ended up scoring 10 points and Jamal Murray ended up scoring 15, meaning Jamal Murray is our final player to move on to the second round. So moving on to round 2, we only have 12 players remaining now. I split them up into 2 groups now based on how they scored in the first round, and the top 3 from each group will be moving on to the finals. Starting off with group 1, Jamal Murray was up first and he did worse than he did in the first round, only scoring 21 points. Then we had Tyus Jones, again doing worse than he did in the first round, and he ended with a score of 21 as well. Then we had Damian Lillard putting up a very solid score of 25. Darius Garland was right after him. He also put up a score of 25. Then it was Trae Young. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to hit that 25 mark and only hit 23. And lastly, we have CJ McCollum. He needed over a 23 to move on to the finals, and he did it, ending with 25 points. Moving on to group number 2, it's De'Aaron Fox up first. He ended with 21 points. Not a great score. Russell Westbrook was next, and he ended with 23 points. Again, I have no idea how Westbrook is doing this well. He might actually move on to the finals though. Scoot Henderson was right after him. He ended with only 17 points. Then we had Devin Booker ending with 25 points, and the first player to beat Westbrook in this group. Right after him was Kobe White though, and again, he was just lights out in this round, putting up our highest score of the tournament so far with 28 points. And then of course, our last player in the group is Steph Curry. Wasn't able to beat Kobe White, but he did put up 27 points. So unfortunately, Westbrook does get eliminated. It would have been crazy if he made the finals, but our 6 final players are CJ McCollum, Darius Garland, Damian Lillard, Steph Curry, Kobe White, and Devin Booker. Darius Garland was first to shoot in the finals and was very consistent all around, hitting 3 or 4 shots per rack. He wasn't able to hit any deep threes though, but was able to finish the contest hitting 4 money balls and ended with 25 points. After him was Damian Lillard. He didn't shoot as consistently as Garland, but was able to hit both of his deep range shots, also finishing with 25 points. Next up is CJ McCollum, and he started off hot, hitting all 6 shots on the first rack. He continued with this momentum through the rest of the contest, putting up the highest score of the finals so far with 27. Following him, Devin Booker also had a great round, hitting all of his money rack balls. He found himself going into the final rack with 20 points. He has to get at least 5 points here if he wants to move on to round 2. Oh, he misses another one. Up to 22. Moneyball is good, but he only ends with 24, so he's not going to move on to the finals of the final. Right after was Steph Curry, and he did pretty similar to Devin Booker, but going into the final rack, Curry had 22 points. Ken up to 22 points, needs 3 to move on to the second round. I mean, he should be able to do it. There's another. 24, misses that, needs the money ball. That is good for 26 points, and he is moving on to the second round in the finals. Last up was Kobe White, and despite only having an 81 3-point rating, he went off yet again, tying CJ for the highest score of the round with 27, meaning that CJ McCollum, Kobe White, and Steph Curry make it to the finals of the finals. The winner of this round wins the tournament. Curry starting off with a miss, and hit that money ball. Yes, he can. 4 points on the first rack. Not bad at all for Curry. Could he light? Oh my gosh, Curry is bricking. I've never seen him brick so many shots before. Yeah, hits the money ball, so he has 8. So he's still doing really well. Deep 3, that is no good. Again, up to 13. The second deep 3, that'd be huge for him, and he hits it up to 16 points onto the money ball rack. Let's see what he can do here. Hits 1, misses 1. There we go. I hate these angles though. These 3-point contest angles are terrible. Curry up to 24. Going into the final rack, and he can still end with 29 points, which would be a really good score for the finals. He is bricking some shots though. Money ball, and that is good. 28 points, our highest score in the finals so far. Very solid score. That might allow him to win. We got CJ McCollum up next though. 28 is tied with the highest score of the entire tournament so far though. Kind of sucks we haven't seen somebody get over 30. CJ McCollum doing great on his first rack. 4 points right there. But he is bricking shots now. Can he at least hit the money ball? There we go. Up to 7 points. Deep 3 now. And that is no good. Onto his money ball rack. Not looking great in this competition so far, but he can bring it all back right here. And he is. He's lighting up from his money ball. Last money ball. And he misses that. Almost went perfect with the money balls. Deep three, number 2 is no good. And he can no longer win the contest. TJ ends with 23 points, so he is eliminated. Curry still in first with 28. We have Kobe White. Needs to beat 28 to win the tournament. This would be a huge upset if he got it. And Kobe White, not doing great to start off. Only 1 point so far. Misses the money ball. Only 1 point on that first rack. On to the second rack. Let's see if he can bring it back a little bit here. Make it a little bit interesting, but he's still bricking shots. There we go. Money ball maybe. That's good. Up to 6 points. Got the deep three. This is huge. And that's no good. You're probably not beating Curry if you don't hit at least 1 deep three. He's not doing great now. Starting to hit a few. Can he hit this money ball? That money ball is no good. Only 9 points. Second deep three. And he hits the second deep three. He's going to be back in this thing. But he might be officially... I think he's out. I don't think he can win this anymore. He does not have enough balls to come back here. And only 16 points going into the final rack. Kobe White just doing terrible after doing so great the entire tournament. Can he hit that money ball? No, he cannot. Only with 19 points in the finals. Meaning that Steph Curry is our point guard 3-point champion. I don't think that's that surprising. I think what was more surprising is Westbrook made it into round 2. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to check out this one right here, where I put every single MVP in NBA history into a 1v1 tournament. Anyways, I'll see you next time. Peace.